Good morning, everyone. So, buckle up. They allowed me to present around 5,000 slides today. So, it's around 5 hours, right? So, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. So, allow me to little bit of inspire you of what we've done for the past 2.5 years under the Department of Information and Communications Technology. So I'm happy with the government office, and we're happy to say that these are the things that we've done for a very short period of time, despite of this, bureaucracy and all the political things that we're experiencing now. All right, so allow me to give you a bit of the e-government at a glance perspective. So, for the past 2.5 years, we're able to develop 25 platforms. And you might be wondering how the heck we're able to do that for a very short period of time. Because for the first time, we're able to assemble our first DICT Avenir team. So actually, before the time that I joined DICT, I knew that we cannot be successful without good programmers inside the DICT. And secondly, it's really hard for us to use own programmers in the government because yes, they're very good, they're very passionate, but most of the things that they knew 20 years ago or 30 years ago, so it's really hard to adopt newer technology. So I brought several of them. I'm sure some of you knew, I was the former CEO of Publicis, and I'm the founder of Publicis Technologies Corporation. So 1/4 of my Avenir team, they joined me in the government. And this is a secret story that I would like to disclose to you today. The reason why they joined me sa DICT, when I sold Publicis to the MVP group, I allocated 1% of that sale just to give them their own joining bonus for them to join me in DICT. Because no one would like to join the government, especially IT guys, because of that low salary of the government. No one would like to be paid 30,000 pesos or 50,000 pesos if you are a very good full stack programmer, right? So I don't have choice, and I'm proud to say that they accepted the challenge, and it's actually giving back. I've been blessed in the private, and this is something that I'm so passionate to really finish and prove to you that somehow we're able to do a lot of good things. And right now, out of that 25 platforms that we build and implemented, we already have more than 473 million transactions a week. So this is a full of government approach. We are into process simplification. We're tired of silent systems, repetitive tasks, submission of documents, fall in line to a lot of government agencies while you are submitting the same document. Pare-parehas na naman yung sinasubmit mo, di ba? Pero bakit kailangan uulit at uulit? So, and interoperability is top of my mind when I joined the government. That's why the only way for us to simplify processes is to come up with the cybersecurity by design, data privacy by design, and you know what? We're able to implement a lot of cost-effective solutions. The more you're able to simplify things, you're able to save a lot of money. So this is something that I would like to speak with you today. And our only issue is sustainability, because how we can continue this, right? Who we gonna run this later on? Who's gonna secure this? Who's gonna continuously drive this? Who's gonna continue putting gasoline in this? Who's gonna continue maintaining this, upgrading this, so that there will be no obsolete systems in the future? Because the biggest issue in government systems are not just the silent systems, but also the legacy systems. They forgot to upgrade the system. So, yeah, and some compliance sometimes with the new interoperability APIs. I'm sure you are quite aware of this. Sorry, I tried to put them all on one page. Hindi magkasya. Ang daming challenges. These are all the challenges that we're facing. You know, when I was in the private, I might be one like you, not about calling the government, but I might be the one criticize why it can be done, why hindi magawa, bakit hindi masimplify. Pwede naman huwag na pumila, pwede naman sa bahay lang, ako nagkakampi. Pwede naman eh. But you know what, when I joined government, I shut up. I understand the bureaucracy, politics, the turf wars, and all of these issues in terms of interoperability resistance, data management issues, cybersecurity issues, they don't want to change. Ang daming problema. And guess what? We forgot all this, and top of my mind, ang gagawin ko? Ang gagawin natin? So I gathered under the team, what shall we do? So we come up with a very simplified model. How about let's focus on the things that we can do? Let's not jump the gun and do all the things that, like a fairy tale story. We don't need to discuss about the Cinderella story. Let's discuss about the shoe, okay, that we need, okay, to be fitted to that little feet. No? So, simplification, and we studied why it's not being done for the past a lot of decades. Why everything's collapsing. Every time we start something, after a couple of years, wala na naman. Di ba? May magandang picture taking, may magandang PR, di ba? Di pagdating na ilang taon, wala na naman yung pinag-usapan. Bakit kaya? So, this is my personal discovery. Government agencies, they develop their own. Okay? Somehow they also do it. But they don't talk to each other. Normally, they repeat a lot of things. Normally, whatever the other agency is doing, the other agency is also doing. The data, the other agency is also capturing, the other agency is also, repetitively capturing at the same time. Okay? And at the end of the day, we can integrate. So every one of them, they develop their own APIs. Let's do API integration, we can do that. But again, it became so messy. Because imagine everyone's talking to everyone. Imagine in this group, if everyone's presenting now. Okay. No one would like to listen, right? And wala tayong mga magagawa. So we come up with a very simplified model. So, dinawin namin ito, team. How about, let's start with a common system. Ito yung mga digital platforms na pare-parehas. Let's focus there. Okay, so we focus on the digital platforms that are common. Meaning, this system, if we build this, other agencies should now build again. But they can build on top of it. So that they can benefit underneath. So let me elaborate. Example, if you go to old cities in Metro Manila, you find messy. Even you find tall buildings, progressive. But if you visit underneath, ang gulo, flooding, electricity wires na kalat-kalat, spaghetti wire tawag natin doon, cable everywhere, bukas na kanal. Ang hirap na ayusin, di ba? But tall buildings. The problem is, they started building vertical, but they forgot to fix the foundation. But if you go to newer cities in Metro Manila, not to promote BGC, but if you go to BGC, you cannot even find a single electricity post, right? No flooding. The traffic's nice, and guess what? Whoever will build on top of that foundation that they built, that village that they did, because everything is underneath. The electricity is there, the cable is there, the elevation is nice, and all of these necessities, whoever built it on top will benefit underground. So we went back to that particular analogy. So what we've done, we built digital platforms and we allow government agencies to still do their own thing. We will not interrupt. They do their own innovation there. But if you think that this system is a common system, or the data is already here, we encourage them not to repeat it again. Let me elaborate that. So, we come up with a whole of government approach. So, going back to that analogy of the BGC, I'm not from BGC, but I'm not promoting BGC, but, I like to go sa place, kasi parang, parang high-end ka, di ba? Somehow, you feel proud if you're there. And in the government, if we're able to come up with the same model, we fix the foundation first. What are the foundational things that we need to fix? The first thing that we did, we fixed the national ID. The second one, we fixed the standard API, standardization. That's why we have the data exchange platform, we have the eGov Super App, we have the E-Verify platform connected to the national ID, etc., etc., etc. And guess what? Government agencies started realizing that we are not interfering in their respective country. They started realizing that what we've done is actually an added value to them. Every time, they build something that they control, they own. They manage their own system, they manage their own database. But guess what? If they use this platform, dadali pa rin buhay nila. They keep the control, they keep the term, but they're able to unify the technology. So that is simplification. That's process simplification. Sorry, I'll explain all the platforms today. I wish I could explain you one by one all the platforms. These are 21 of them are now live. Apat na lang po yung aming pinag-test ngayon. So this is not anymore drama. Hindi na po drama. Ginagamit na natin ito sa araw-araw na ating buhay. So I cannot discuss one by one all of the platforms, but I can maybe elaborate some of them. Okay, there are e-government flagship projects. The first one, the eGov Data Exchange Platform, or the eGov DX. The job of this platform is to simplify interoperability and integration. The second one is the eGov PH Super App. This system will integrate siloed systems in a single interface. So meaning, they still have their own respective systems. Mali yung interpretation na, nakakatakot naman yung eGov app, siya na lahat ang mag-manage ng data. Pag na-hack na lahat ng government. Mali yun. You know why? Because the eGov app is just a simplifier, a unifier. But if you click GSIS, wala kami access sa GSIS. If you click National ID, data yan ng PSA. If you click PhilHealth, if you click Jobs, if you click e-travel, if you click tourism, if you click AI, and so on and so forth, it will still go to this respective government agency. You don't have access. But that happened because we have the data exchange platform. I will elaborate that. Third one, we have the eGov Change. So we have, di ba sa mga dreamer, dapat masarap ang tulog sa gabi. Because cybersecurity is one of our issues. Yes, we are hiring or we even buy and acquire super expensive cybersecurity, but we're trying to guard an imahack with dogs and gates, but we forgot to fix the imahack itself. We're trying to build nice gates, but we forgot to fix the house itself. So our job is to assist agencies, not just put gates in your house. Kung naman yung bakit, ayusin yung bakit mo. Kaysa naman yung bibili ka ng puro aso or gates. Kaya ang mahal eh. Very expensive yung anti-cybersecurity. So what we've done, every time we build things based on cybersecurity by design, so meaning fully encrypted. And by the way, we have the zero trust policy. Ibig sabihin, pati programmer na hindi kaya basahin yung data. May encryption, there is encryption, but no decryption. The only way that could be decrypted is through the data exchange platform. So this is a new technology that we've learned from meeting a lot of innovators all over the world, and we're being guided by them. I did not invent this. Korea is discussing this. Singapore is discussing this. So why we need to reinvent the wheel? Right? We follow the trend, we follow the best practice, and then we just adopt it and use it. So that's what we've done. Wala pa tayong government blockchain, but we're proud to say we have the first node already. Ibig sabihin, the data is fully encrypted, and by the way, decentralized by the servers, and at the same time, like a hyperledger, and at the same time, every time that you save data, 3 security layers all the time before we proceed, at pag nag-save 3 layers again. So anyway, I don't have time to explain maybe one another session for the eGov chain. The eGov AI is also one of our flagship projects. If you use the eGov Super App, you cannot lie about the information. It's connected to our anti-ID fake. It's also connected to our national ID verification. You click eGov AI in the eGov Super App, andiyan na yung OpenAI, andiyan na yung Gemini, andiyan na yung Vertex. So you can create your own speeches for free, you can research, you can ask anything you want, and we train that AI to become, tame. Okay? Hindi siya sasagot ng mga hindi maayos na mga English. Kailangan na siya, mag-aalak siya. Okay? And the eGov Pay. Okay, so the eGov AI will automate processes and transactions. The eGov Chain will secure data storage and management. The eGov Pay will sustain digital platforms and system infrastructures. Okay, this is the data exchange platform that we built in 2022. We launched this, I remember we launched this December of 2022, 3 months after we joined the government. And guess what? Public can see this, but government agencies are now enjoying this. There will be no governance super app without this. There will be no ELGU without this. There will be no digital national ID without this. There will be no digital driver's license without this. There will be no digital PRC license without this. Because this system will allow government agencies to talk to one another without seeing each other. to comply with data privacy. And guess what? This system will allow a so-called once-only policy. If the data is stored in one location, other agencies don't need to retrieve that data anymore, but they can benefit from that data. That's called once-only policy. Because if you're going to replicate that data from server 1, server 2, server 3, server 4, imagine the expense that we are investing. Imagine the sustainability. Imagine the hardship of maintaining this moving forward. That's why once-only policy. Example, if national IDs with PSA, don't repeat it anymore. You have your biometrics there, you have your demographics there. You don't need, in the future, you don't need to fall in line again with your passport or driver's license to repeat agad the biometrics, the submission of first name, last name, middle name. You shouldn't do that anymore. Meaning, if the data is already there in national ID, you should already enjoy government services while having coffee at home. You can renew your driver's license at home, you can renew your NBI, you can renew your driver's license, you can apply for a marriage certificate, death certificate, without even, driving a car and just go to one place and fall in line and submit bloody documents again and again. That is the beauty of the data exchange platform. I wish we have another session for this. This is actually not new, by the way. We adopted the S-Road of Estonia. When I visited Estonia, they're the #1 e-governance country. So when I visited them, but they're somehow the S-Road, of course, they built that 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So they explained to me that you can build one. You might can build a new one, a better one, the one that we got. So nangarap ko kami. That's why we copied, we imitated that in terms of policy, in terms of integration, cybersecurity by design, data privacy by design. And after 2 years, we already have around 473 million transactions using our eGov data exchange. The second one is the eGov Super App. I hope meron na po kayong app. Okay. So if you use the app, this is just the version 1 of the app, by the way. We don't have yet the version 2. We're launching the version 2 soon. The version 1, we already have 1,000 government systems integrated in it already. Ang dami na po yan. 900 na local government agency systems. Pwede na lang, i-click mo yung national government, you can go to Marina, you can go to passport, you can do the driver's license, you can click Pag-ibig, you can see your contributions, you can see your benefits. If you click GSIS, you can see your loans, you can see your pension, you can see your premiums, your benefits, your beneficiaries. But we don't manage their system. But they're able to integrate this to simplify the process, the front-facing of the citizen. We already have 130 million transactions as we speak. 11 million users na po without even promoting it. You know the reason why we don't promote it? Kasi kinakabahan kami kasi wala kaming budget dun sa aming cloud service. And we're happy to say the President is shared the beauty of the eGov Super App and then is now helping us to have that more superb cloud service. Because without infrastructure, without good servers, cloud services, cybersecurity, useless yung ganda ng sasakyan. Diba? Kahit napakaganda ang iyong sasakyan, pag wala kang gasolina, pag wala kang magaling na driver, wala kang talyan na mag-maintain, wala kang maayos na hangin, masisira yung sasakyan. So, it's not just innovation. We need to prepare also the things that we need to sustain it, you know? Kung wala yun, gugulat na naman. Pagdating ng panahon na naman, titingnan nila naman ang DICT, ang gobyerno, ang ganda ng super app, pero 3 taon lang wala naman yan.
Pag nag-one bar na.
Makakarap na naman. Nakakarap, diba? Pero you know what? We're happy to say that government agencies are now collaborating because guess what? They keep the control. They keep the management. They're the ones who are going to manage, maintain the respective source codes, databases, and systems. And that's what they want. Okay, I cannot explain all the good news inside the Super App. I hope you're able to try to click on the buttons, try to explore. Marami pa akong riyan na dinadagdag. And this is the power of the blockchain. I'm sure most of you here are technical experts. And you know the reason why we need to adopt blockchain because this is already not just a trend, but it's a solution in terms of cybersecurity. And this is cost-saving po ito. Kasi I wish I could explain all the beautiful features of the eGov chain, but we all know that the eGov chain is to reduce fraud activities, increase trust of the citizen, data integrity, increase transparency and accountability, and it will amplify security and efficiency. Okay? eGov AR. If you click e-book AI, you see the lower button, meron pong tao doon, i-click mo po yun. Meron pong itong AI doon. Meron siyang AI assistant, tanungin mo, you can ask whatever you want. Meron pong image, identifier, meron pong programmer, meron po siyang document extractor, meron siyang identity verifier. Subukan mo sinungaling. Diba? Nakakilala ka. Subukan mo magsinungaling siya, or subukan niya ilagay ko toong pangalan niya, but someone will pretend to be someone else. The system will not hindi siya yun, because it's connected to the national ID. Okay? This is the power of eKYC, Powered Identity AI, connected to the national ID. Iligo pwede. Kalat-kalat ngayon, ang payments natin, wala tayong resibo na tatanggap, di ba? And ang mahal-mahal na binabayaran natin convenience fees, tama? And guess what? And this is the real issue. Kasi nga, yes, we can pay online, pero gulong-gulong yung agency. Walang ledger, walang resibo, walang official receipt, wala lang trial balance. Kung anong i-remit sa land bank, oo na lang. At wala man lang titingnan kung land bank collection talaga, ilan ba talaga nagbayad, wala nang resibo. Kasi nga, you can pay online, but hindi inaayos yung collection system ng government. The eGovPay is not just payment online, paying online. The eGovPay will fix decentralized reports. It will create a lot of transparency. With the official receipt, easy collection system, for the first time, may resibo na siya, may i-receipt na siya, matatanggap niyo by text or by email. Okay? And at the same time, siya na yung mahala sa process simplification ng agency. And may access ko yung transparent ng DOF, Bureau of Treasury, DLGF, BIR, and Customs. So wala nang pwedeng mag-edit ng data. And this is also powered by eGovChain. Parang hindi pwedeng baguhin na yung receipt number 111, 1 million, ibig din ang in-edit, ginawa ng 100,000. Diba? This time around, pag sinave mo in OneNote, is also saved to e-receipt and also to e-ledger. So walang way, i-edit mo yung data. That's transparency. And this is not, it's not hard to do. It can be done if government agencies will join force together. eGovCloud, dumating po kami sa DICT, nasa 300 lang na government agencies po ang nakahost sa amin. Guess what? We already have more than 2,000 servers na nakahost po sa amin ngayon. That's more than 2,000 cloud services na minamaintain natin. And guess what? We figured out that if you allow government agencies to build their own data centers, to subscribe to own cloud, you don't even optimize it. Sometimes they buy 10 servers, they're using one. Then they buy 10 backup servers, but they're still using one server. So they wasted 9 servers here and 9 servers here. But what we can do, we were able to optimize it. You know, when I joined the ICT, we decommissioned 60% of unused cloud services. Hindi lang nanghilang budget. We're able to launch digital national ID, the eGov Super App, the ePravel, the data exchange card without even having budget. You know why? Because we're able to save 60% of the existing cloud services na meron kami. No one was trying to look at it. No one is trying to take a look at the cloud services na binabayaran ng billion-billion. Because no one would like to take a look at it because sometimes we can't really how of a lot of contractors. The digital national ID, you can access national ID in your super app now. I wish, sino po ba din wala pa ng ID na physical? Dami pa. Almost kalahati. Anong din mo ba yan? Don't you know that 40 million Filipinos, 3 years, 5 years, ang ID. Nag-aantay. But guess what? Huwag na kayong malungkot, di ba? Just download the eGov app. Yung power ng physical card, papares lang yan ng digital ID. Pares yung power niya. And we're able to generate 87 million digital national IDs. Meaning, you don't need any more to carry IDs in the future. Just carry yourself. Okay? If you apply online, example, if you use GCash, if you use AUB, yung mga online banking natin ngayon, natapos na mag-integrate, you don't need to submit any ID. All you need to do is just enter your first name, last name, middle name, birthday, and you do the anti-deepfake AI face recognition, gamit ng ating eGov AI at national ID, baka mag-open ka ng account. You can open account now without submitting an ID. That's the power of the digital national ID. If you're a farmer without technology, kahit walang cellphone, pumunta ako sa DSWD, I go to DSWD to get support, financial support. I can go there without bringing anything. Okay, I just mentioned to them, I am Juan de la Cruz. I do the fingerprinting or face recognition, and then DSWD will immediately see it. Anyway, I don't have much time, but I can give you a copy of this. This is the e-verify platform. Give me 1 second per slide. This is now the use cases that we've done. We're able to process 46 million transactions using the national ID. You can access your PRC license. If you are 60 years old, you can access your senior citizen, by the way, using the EGOV app. Once you turn 60 years old, you don't need to fall in line with LGUs. You can have your senior citizen immediately using this super app. We are now implementing also the PIN number and the PWD ID that we have. The EMGN, you can access your GSIS, your bill health. The ELGU, 900 LGUs are now using this. Automation of business permit. We are now launching together with VIR, the tax payment system. Okay? You don't need anymore to fall in line in the future to VIR. You can pay your tax while having coffee at home. Hopefully, we're able to launch by August. VIR ang partner natin dito. E-Invest, you can invest using the DTI Green Lane. The e-travel, I'm sure all of you, most of you using this. Instead na sa pool system, isang system na lang, wala nang arrival card, departure card, wala nang one-time pass na, mag-declare ka na sa PIN mo online, wala na rin customs form, total paperless na tayo ngayon. We process 46 million transactions. Report. Using the EGOV app, you can report. You can complain, human abuse, child abuse, crime, red tape, online scam, you can use the EGOV app to report. And agencies respond to you, so they can receive independently. Each agency will go out to respond. E-Health, you can access your vaccination certificate, the e-consulta packages from PhilHealth, including the nearest hospitals or clinics using the EGOV super app. You can build your resume for a job matching system. PowerMed Dole, DLW, and TESDA later on. 1 million resumes na from the field sa ating mga mamamayan. Tourism, nandiyan din po sa EGOV app. And the Department of Tourism is also now integrating more features for this feature to entice more tourists. E-Visa, kwento po ito. Sa mga Indians, sa mga Arabians na punta sa Pilipinas, they don't need to fall in line to our consular offices anymore. They can apply for visa to habang masabahan. They don't need anymore to wait for 30 days. They can get their visa in just a day. Sorry, 3,000 gigs talaga hindi naman mga staff. Okay? EGOV Docs, use the EGOV Docs, you can sign document paperlessly. May e-signature na po tayo sa EGOV app natin. Pwede mo na mag-firma ng document gamit po, wala po ballpen. You can sign document gamit po ng ating EGOV Docs. You can build website in a day using the EGOV web. Okay, let's do a little bit of we're proud to say we're not perfect, to be honest with you. We are experiencing a lot of challenges, frustrations, and disappointments, to be honest with you. Nakakapagod po sa totoo lang. Pero after 2 years po, for the first time, after a lot of decades, ang e-government index, we're able to overtake 16 countries. Okay, so 16 na bansa ang ating nilampasan. Sa United Nations Online Services Index, we are number 80th out of 193 countries. We are number 49. We're able to overtake 31 countries. So this is an achievement that we're under the Marcos administration. Yeah, that's it. And we submitted the EGOV Super App, the Data Exchange, and the EGOV AI sa United Nations. And guess what? We are number 6 in Asia Pacific. We're just below New Zealand in terms of e-governance and digitalization. Thank you so much. And I just want to repeat kung bakit sasabi natin Presidente that nandito na po ang bago sa Pilipinas.